What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today, we're going to be talking about all the ways you can counter Arbiter Vildred, along with some examples on what the concepts are. So why are we talking about this? So if you didn't know, Arbiter Vildred is the next Mystic Rotation hero coming up. So yeah, everyone is going to be having an Arbiter Vildred, usually after a Mystic Rotation. A lot of players will get him. Probably I would say 50 to 60% of players will have Arbiter Vildred after this Mystic Rotation. So you can bet you are going to be seeing him. So we are going to talk about all the ways to counter him, along with examples for them. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord link. Y'all been doing amazing on all of them. I've been having so much fun with the Discord. We tried streaming for the first time yesterday, and I do plan to do it again in the future. So make sure you join the Discord for notifications about that, and I'll start putting it on the YouTube too. And again, subscribe to stay updated with content, because I got so much content ready for you guys. The Melissa full guide is coming along super clean. She's so good. I love Melissa now. I used to be like iffy about her. I love Melissa. But all right, enough about the channel. Let's get actually to the video. So first things first, before I start talking about the methods, you have to know what you're dealing with before you understand how strong he really is. So Arbiter Vildred. So I don't want to go over his skill because we're doing an in-depth guide, but I will do a quick overview on him and then the skills. You guys should probably already know what Arbiter Vildred is, but if you've been living under a cave or if you're a new player, Arbiter Vildred is probably one of the best, if not the best, ML 5-star that is out there, because he honestly is just pretty nuts. So biggest thing about Arbiter Vildred, he comes back to life and does big damage. So first skill, single target, decreases combat readiness, very strong, very annoying. Arbiter Vildreds will usually be on a speed set, but some people decide to go for a more damage set. Some people decide to go for counterattack set. So very variable. Arbiter Vildred is not a unit you want to let them take a turn. Skill 2, the reason he's known for, he dies, he comes back, and he claps you, because his S3 is an AoE attack that he's able to do early. If you don't kill him early, he's able to do this skill, and then when you kill him, he comes back, he has full focus. This skill becomes Descending Blade. There's so many memes about this S3, but basically, if you're not ready for it, he will wipe out your party when he comes back to life, and he is guaranteed that extra turn because he comes back with 100% combat readiness. So he will take that turn the second you kill him. So there's the things you want you to think about. The other thing I want you to think about when you're going against Arbiter Vildred is that Arbiter Vildred will often run on Moonlight Dreamblade or Alexa's Basket. I haven't seen many run anything besides those two. Those are pretty standard. So you have to know that if they have Moonlight Dreamblade, you have a 20% chance to miss on him and not kill him the first time through, and then he gets an opportunity to the S3, and then that just does a bunch of damage, puts a decreased hit chance, which is super tilting if he does get that debuff off, and then he's just able to come back in and just kill your team. It's not a good look. So you want to deal with him fast and early, and we will see that in a second. But yeah, so know what Arbiter Vildred does. The other thing is that Arbiter Vildred is a good unit by himself, but what makes him super strong is all the units you can pair him with, because of the fact that he's so offensive, he can run with the team with a bunch of tanks and still have a really good damage output, which is why he's seen on a lot of arena defenses. So alright, that's all the stuff you need to know about Arbiter Vildred. Basically, high damage, comes back to life, takes a turn after he comes back to life, and can be on Moonlight Dreamblade. So that's the things you want to think about when you are going against Arbiter Vildred. So now, as far as the units, we will see later on. So the first team that we're going to be looking at is going to be Mohastin with a cleave team, because Mohastin can actually work against cleave team, and traditionally this is if you're very confident in your cleave team. If you have a really good Oxlots, this is a really good option for you if you do have a good cleave team. So we see here, I start with my Akali, which stats will be shown at the very end, so skip to the very end if you want to see any of the units, any of the stats, any of the equips. You can just go all the way down to the end and you'll see it. But as we see here, the first one, I get the Bazaar killed. I just killed the Bazaar. I set up to kill the Seaside Bellona with Melissa. I make sure that the Melissa can kill the Arbiter Vildred, and then Melissa comes in, kills Arbiter Vildred, kills the Seaside, we get the barrier, and because Mohastin has a thick barrier, we're going to be able to survive through it, and also the damage reduction helps a lot. Melissa also has immortality. So there's a lot of things going in my favor, and I can come back and kill the MO Vildred. So it's a very, very solid team, very aggressive. The barrier is really, really good. I would highly recommend you skill up your MO Haste if you use this team. My MO Haste S2 is actually not all the way, so the barrier isn't as thick. But again, it's still very, very solid, very, very safe. Just a little bit more risky if the S2 is not maxed out. The other team you can use Mohastin is the tank team. So Arbiter Vildred, the one thing he really does do is damage and glancing debuff. So the idea behind the tank team is to be able to tank out the Arbiter Vildred 1, maybe 2 times, and then still be able to put out enough DPS that we're able to kill. So the Charon, ideally usually the Basar goes first, and then I'm able to set up afterwards. But you know, our Charon goes first. We don't kill, they get a kill on the Arbiter Vildred. But it's okay. You know why? Because we got MO Haste backing us up, and we have the MO Tywin making sure we don't stay stunned forever. So we do also have the Lilius to cleanse. So the Lilius is on Aureus. Again, I'll talk about the artifacts later on. And you can just skip to the end to see the equipment on the units. But the biggest thing for this team is we tanked, we come in, we cut into the Arbiter Vildred because our Ambitious Tywin does have the artifact that gives him extra combat readiness. We still don't get the stun, but it doesn't matter because we just tank it out. We have Aureus, we have MO Haste passive. So pretty nice. And then we're set up for success at this point because MO Haste has his skill reset. I can just heal back up. So again, MO Haste does work in a defensive setting and he works in an offensive setting. So he's a very, very versatile character in terms of the teams you can use. And you see with this team, I could have put Adamant Shield on the Ambitious Tywin, take even less damage. My DPS, which is Charon, can tank, and he has the opportunity to survive with immortality. So it's a pretty well coherent team, and we do end up winning the fight as we see here. Our team is pretty maxed out on health actually. So we're still able to kill even with all these things going against us. Even though the Arbiter Vildred did get his turn, we're still able to come back because of the MO Haste. So this is also a strategy. You can also just tank it out. So tank teams also work. For the Sigrid, I highly recommend Sigrid and the Extinction units anytime there's more than one reviver, or whenever there is, or whenever they don't have a speed threat. So as you see here, this guy is running a full tank team with his Arbiter Vildred. There is no speed threat. The only thing I'm worried about is that he will bring back his Arbiter Vildred. So how are we going to stop that? We're going to make sure that that Arbiter Vildred never comes back. This Sigrid is also not built for PvP, by the way. So check the Sigrid at the end. She's a Wyvern Sigrid, not a PvP Sigrid, and she's able to easily kill Arbiter Vildred and almost kill the Lilius. If I had a proper Sigrid and fully Mulagora'd out on her 2 skills, she would definitely have killed that Lilius and killed the Arbiter Vildred. So she's my favorite Extinction unit, but as you see at the bottom, there is other ones like a Spes and Lilibet. But this team works best against those slow Arbiter Vildred teams that rely on like Maid Chloe, on Robo Light, and just tanks overall because you're just able to eat through the team with Sigrid. Tier 2 1-2 units, and we see here, she does not get the opportunity to revive the Arbiter Vildred. So even though she gets the revive, it's on the Lilius because we already took care of almost her whole team. And we're sitting pretty. We're able to just beat out the rest of the units and DPS out the rest of the fight. As we see here, we did DPS out the fight. Our Kali was able to put in that work, and none of our units died. Our Vildred is never coming back, and we won the fight. So again, Extinction is very, very good because that unit can never revive again, which is it's just very solid to have an Extinction unit on your team. But you don't always need all of these. The double tap. So this is one of my personal favorites actually, and I feel like not a lot of people actually use the double tap, but basically is using any unit that gets an extra turn. So there's millions. Any unit that gets an extra turn, you can kill Arbiter Vildred properly. So as we see here, we set up for the Melissa just because I'm a little worried that we won't do enough damage in case we miss the strip. But with this, we will definitely get the kill. Also because I haven't fully Mulagora'd out the S3 on Melissa. But the double tap with this team is the best against tank teams as well. So we did bring the A Kali to take care of the A Sid, so I'm confident in that. but we come back and we double tap the Vildred. Doesn't even get a turn. The other double tap, this is one I used to get all the way to champion, where all these fights are taking place. This is a team I used, and it works against Arbiter Vildreds. Again, against tank teams, like Bruiser teams, this team is better. But because I was very confident in my Bazaar, I took this team against this team. So if you're confident in your Bazaar, you can also bring this team, or for slow teams. And then we come in, and with the double tap, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty standard cleave, because we're going to see his whole team get cleaved, and because BBK gets that extra turn, we are going to be able to come back. So again, this works really well against Seaside Bologna teams, even with Bazaar, without Bazaar, depending how good your Bazaar is, how confident you are in your Bazaar. You can do different things, play around with it. It's not an end-all be-all. But as we'll see here, we're going to wipe out the whole team. Arby will come back, but our BBK will take care of it. So, pretty standard stuff, actually. Double tap is probably the best if you don't want to build a specific unit, because you should already have units that take extra turns. And we see here, got the extra turn. Arbiter Vildred doesn't get his turn, and he just dies. So this is probably the best one that you can use if you don't want to build a unit specific to Arbiter Vildred, like with Extinction or ML Haste. So sadly, I wish I could have shown you guys this unit in action, but I do not have her built. But Simple Angelica is also a really good counter to Arbiter Vildred, especially if you're running cleave teams. So Angelica, as you guys know, gets the immortality. With the immortality, whenever Arbiter Vildred dies, you don't need Extinction, you don't need the double tap. All you need to do is kill him when Simple Angelica has her immortality up. So for very aggressive teams, this is probably one of the best units to counter Arbiter Vildred. I'm talking like the Athletica teams, I'm talking like the Arbiter Vildred builder teams. It's just all very, very solid. Another unit that I can't talk about that actually also counters Arbiter Vildred really, really well is Arbiter Vildred himself. So why? If you have a fast team and you cleave your opponent with your Arbiter Vildred, you will kill their Arbiter Vildred, and then his Arbiter Vildred will come back. They will kill your Arbiter Vildred. Your Arbiter Vildred comes back, and then your Arbiter Vildred kills their Arbiter Vildred one last time. I know that's super tongue twisty, but just know Arbiter Vildred does counter himself. This only matters for Arena, which is why I also didn't include it. Also because I don't have Arbiter Vildred. But yeah, just thought you guys should know about those two. There are several other units I can go over. There's hundreds of them. Sid is another big one that comes to mind, but there's so many units that you can use to counter Arbiter Vildred, and I just wanted to give you guys as many as possible. So now we're going to be heading to the conclusion. So one of the things I didn't show you guys, but it was on my Melissa, and it's one of the reasons I don't miss on Arbiter Vildred, and I've considered putting this artifact on my Sigrid that you all guys also saw, is in the deep set, or not the deep, it's a common artifact, so everyone can get this artifact. You should definitely have 1 to 2 copies maxed out, but it's just solid option against a lot of Arbiter Vildreds just to be safe, and that is going to be Oath Key. So this is primarily done in a lot of the videos you guys just saw. My Melissa had it, my Sigrid didn't have it at the time of making the video, but most Sigrids will have this artifact. Why? If Arbiter Vildred is paired up with an Assassin Cartuja, or if Arbiter Vildred has a Moonlight Dreamblade, you want to be able to hit him. So that's why this is the premier artifact to put on your anti-Vildred teams. So for the offensive teams, that's what they had. As far as the tank teams you guys saw with ML Haste, for those, what I actually want to suggest you guys do is just start thinking tank. So the best items against Arbiter Vildred for artifact wise are going to be item and shield, because if you can't do damage, he can't kill you, you can just tank him out, which we saw with ML Haste. That's the idea with ML Haste. But the other thing that's also really good, honestly one of the best artifacts for knights, Aureus, cutting down damage by 20% on your allies, plus giving them extra defense. It's going to be a key if you're doing a tank team against Arbiter Vildred, and as we saw with the ML Tywin and my Lilius was holding that Aureus, so I do want to tell you guys that. So yeah, so just so you know, she was holding that Aureus, and I'll show the units here in a second, but these are the best artifacts, so I'll scroll through the units at the end. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all are ready for the Arbitrability influx, or if you were having trouble with Arbiter Vildred, you know, here's a good guide for how to counter him. He's honestly, while he is a strong unit, he has a lot of counters to him. So it does help to have as many counters as possible, especially for RTA, because in RTA there are a lot of times where people will pick him and you're forced to pick his counters. So you want to have a wide variety that can fit into different teams. So that's why I wanted to show you guys all the different counters you have. You have offensive ones, you have defensive ones, there's ML Hayes, and you can just literally just tank him out. Like that's one of the things that a lot of people get scared of. Just tank him out. If you have a Crown Alencia and you can just tank him out, he's not that scary. So don't be scared of Arbiter Vildred, just be ready for that. So yeah, I'll also stick around if you do want to see the units at the end. But that is all I have for you guys today. The rest will be just me scrolling through my units. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.